What up? It's Grant. We're so back right now. I got psyched by the bullshit. Oh, you need edits and fucking fuck all that, bro. So here's why you're not confident, okay? Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna give you bullshit. I'm not gonna give you some stupid marketing tactics. Oh, these are the 3 secrets why you're not confident. Nah, fuck that. This is the actual fucking reason why you're not confident. I'm gonna hit the core of the problem, the actual reason, and we're gonna fucking solve all this for you, okay? So, let's jump in. This is why you're not confident. All right. Now, the word confidence, if you look at the root of the word, it means to confide, to believe in. So, confidence is essentially self trust, it's trusting yourself. And you know this because if you were confident in a certain situation, you would trust that no matter what happened in the situation, no matter what uncertainty would unfold in front of you during the situation, you would be able to fucking handle it, right? That's self trust 101. That is confidence. So, confidence. The big mindfuck when it comes to confidence is that confidence is a byproduct of directionality of your life. It's not a standalone problem that you have to fix and attack. So you actually solve the confidence problem indirectly by moving the big fucking mover that is the direction of your life, and that will solve all the other problems as a byproduct. It's not like it's like when people have rashes, right? And they try to use all the little creams on top. What they don't realize is a rash is it's a inflammatory condition because your body is in a state of shock because you don't have, like, you're having an allergic reaction of something or your body's out of alignment, right? So to fix the rash problem, you have to heal your fucking body from the inside. In the same way, to fix the confidence problem, you have to fix it at a root level and then it will fix itself. Okay, the biggest mistake that you can make is being an unconfident guy, and I'm going to get into why you're like that right now, and then trying to put little fucking band-aids on the problem. This is how you fix the root of the issue, okay? So confidence tactics are surface level cover-ups for the root problem, which is you don't know yourself and you don't trust yourself, okay? Confidence is a byproduct of correct directionality in your life. That means your life going the right direction. And I'm going to go into what going the right direction means for you, aka going the right way in your life, right? Now, here's what's going to happen. If you're an unconfident guy right now, your life is basically a confusing, blurry fucking dream world, okay? Now, the societal path that they want you to go down and then your divine path that you're supposed to go down is kind of blurred together, okay? Now, you're just going to live your life and then keep fucking trying to figure out what you want to do and who you are, but then at some point, you're going to get enough clarity where the split is going to take place. You can either go down the societal path and then you're going to cap out, right? So this might be, oh, I got my 6-figure job and it's great. You hit the societal peak. The problem is society's peak is going to be so much fucking less than your potential. I got a little accent there, that you're just going to eventually have to go to your path anyway. Because what happens for a lot of people is they can't discern this. They don't know what they are versus what society is versus their path versus society's path. So they blur this fucking line until eventually they're like, well, I think this is what I want, because they got cucked by society, and then they fucking hit a cap, right? And then they hit this cap, they realize there's nowhere else to go, and then they start reflecting on their own life, realizing that they didn't even want the game that they were fucking playing or the result that they thought they wanted, and then they go back to their own path. Now, you can skip this process, right, by going down your own path. If you go down your own divine path, you're gonna take a dip at first, right? Because you're gonna basically break away, which I'm gonna get into, everything that you've ever known. But then if you follow this path, you're gonna have uncapped fucking potential because it's your path, and that spiral of awareness goes up forever. There's no cap to it. You only get better and better and better and better and better on your specific path to mastery. Okay? Now, there's 2 phases to this, okay? And the reason this is so important is because think of it like games, okay? You have 2 different games you can play. You can play society's game, or you can play your game. Now, here's the thing. If you play society's game, you're always going to... I'm not going to even draw that because it's annoying. So you have society's game and your game. Most people play society's game. Okay, what that means is that the things that they think they want, they don't actually want. Society's telling them that they want it, and they can't discern between who they are and who society and what society wants them to be, right? The things that they think they like, the things that they think they don't like, the tastes that they have, their opinions, their preferences, all of this is given to them by society. The problem is if you play society's game, you are never going to be confident because you're playing somebody else's game. Does that make sense? So then, in society's world, oh, you're not successful until you have a Lambo, right? So then if you never get the Lambo, you're technically never going to allow yourself to be confident because you don't have on paper what they want you to have, right? You're playing somebody else's game when you might not even give a fuck about a Lambo or even want a Lambo, okay? You got cucked by society. But in your game, okay, the rules are completely different because you control them and you're the only one creating this game. Confidence is a byproduct of self-reliance. You have to stop looking to the external world for validation. You have to stop looking to the external world to tell you what's right for you because you have ultimate context on your life and nobody else does, right? And you think that you're fucking lost and you think that you don't know what to do. When you do know what to do, you're just being a coward, right? That's the truth of the situation. So you have to basically... There's two phases. Phase 1 is the breakaway and testing phase, and then phase 2 is the locking in phase. Now, when you jump on this split, okay, if you're not confident right now, it's because you're going down this path. It's really that simple. All your confidence will come from going down this path, your divine path, okay? And the moment that you step forward on this path is when you start to become confident. It's that simple. The moment that you walk down your own path, on the directionality of where your life should go, and you know where your fucking life should go because it screams to you in your soul every single day. The fucking second that you answer that call in your soul is the second that you start gaining a modicum of self-respect, which is the second that you actually start to become fucking confident. It's very simple. It is that simple because confidence for a man and self-respect look very similar. These are cousin emotions, okay? Now, phase 1 is the breakaway and the testing phase. Some people never get to phase 1. They just stay on the societal path forever, right? Because if you're on society's path, then you can just walk this forever and you never have to self-reflect. You never have to figure out who you are and you never have to do anything, right? Because the average guy, the reason why he's not confident is because he's tried to pursue things that he doesn't actually fucking want. It's that simple. Really listen to what I'm telling you. The average reason why a guy is not confident is because he's tried to pursue things that he doesn't actually want, but society told him that he should want, and because he doesn't want it, he doesn't put any fucking effort into it, so no shit, it's not going to work out. And then because it didn't work out, he thinks he has a discipline problem. So people misdiagnose self-awareness problems as discipline problems. This happened to me. I used to think I had a discipline problem because I was bad at shit that I fucking hated. I never had a discipline problem. I just didn't understand that I fucking hated that shit. School was a perfect example, right? But school is also a bad example because it was always so easy for me. I would just study for 2 hours and get an A on a test, right? But I hated school. So everyone would be like, oh, you're not disciplined or blah, blah, blah. No, I fucking hate that shit. Right? So I never put time into it because it was I didn't. And then even if I did put time into it, it took me 3 seconds to get an A. So I capped out here anyway. So of course I wasn't happy because I hated the fucking path I was on. And I couldn't even put effort into it because if I did, I would just win the game. It was completely under my skill set and I fucking hated it. But to the outside world, I had a discipline problem, right? No, I hated this shit, right? But I didn't know what else to do. Because I was 18 and I didn't know what the world was, right? This is where we all start. Now, some people break away in early 20s. Some people don't break away until they're 39, okay? This guy that I talked to the other day, he hit the cap of society's path at like 25, but he stayed here for 15 years. So he stayed here till he was 40 years old, and his income went up just a little tiny bit, right? So he was making like 100K at 27 or something, and then at 40, his income was like 160. Right? You hit society's cap, there's nowhere else to fucking go. So then he had to basically self-reflect, but he never did. He was just working the job, living society's path, buying more shit, consuming, getting into debt, enslaving themselves with monthly expenses. Okay? So he could get on the treadmill even fucking more. All right? Then at 40, one day he was like, you know what? I actually hate this shit. No shit. Because you didn't fucking choose it. It was given to you and you convinced yourself that you actually liked it. You got psyoped by society. That's okay. We all were there. I was there. Everybody's there. But at some point, again, you have to break away from this. So confidence, the reason that you're not confident is because you've been playing the wrong games. You've been playing games that you don't actually enjoy. So you basically play games that you don't enjoy, and then you convince yourself that you have a discipline problem because you fucking hate it. And now because you have a discipline problem because you're doing things that you think you do, because you're doing things that you fucking hate, in your head, you're like, I can't stick to anything. I'm shitty. I suck. And you have this negative fucking mental feedback loop simply because you're doing shit you hate, right? I hate spreadsheets. If it was me trying to win a spreadsheet contest, I'd never win because I'm too creative, okay? So if I did that every day, I would and then I sigh at myself and I was like, if I didn't know what I do now, then I'd be like, oh my God, I suck at spreadsheets. I have a discipline problem. I'm a piece of shit. I'm not confident because I suck and suck and suck. And then because my life path was on the wrong directionality track, all that negative self-talk would then be projected into every other area of my fucking life. So because I was sucking at these spreadsheets and I hated it and I couldn't do it because it's just not the right path for my life, and I'm trying to discipline myself to get it done over and over and over, but I can't do it because discipline is finite and discipline doesn't even exist anyway, right? It's all fake and gay. Because that's the truth, then basically what's happening is I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting in this negative spiral mentally, and then that's going to be projected into every other area. So then when I go talk to a girl, I'm like, well, I'm kind of a piece of crap anyway, and then it gets projected there. When I go to a party, I'm like, well, I'm kind of a piece of crap anyway, so then it gets projected there, right? So the root of the problem is you not doing what you want to do in your life. It's really that simple. So phase 1, breakaway and testing. This is when you have to really figure out what the fuck you like, what your strengths are, what natural advantages you have, and what games you can actually win. You only want to play games you are unnaturally advantaged to win in. That's what they're not going to tell you. Discipline is bullshit. Discipline is a lie. You want to play games that you are naturally advantaged to win in, and those are the things that interest you naturally. Those are the things that you like to fucking do, right? Stop doing shit that you absolutely hate to do. Why are you spending your life hours, which are completely limited with the one shot that you get in the being that you are now? Why were you wasting this doing shit you absolutely hate? The reason is probably because you don't know what else is out there that you like. You don't know what else is out there that you could succeed in. So you need to learn about the world. You need to get your general knowledge of how the world fucking works up, okay? And this is the breakaway and testing phase. So you have to realize, wait a second, what I'm doing right now is absolutely not what I want to fucking do. The problem is, I don't know what else is out there. I don't know what options are available. So you need to scratch every goddamn itch, okay? This was me when I was 18 in college. I knew I hated college because I was camping out and it sucked. I didn't know what else to do. All I knew is I had all this passion. I had all this energy. It was like a loaded slingshot, just waiting to shoot at something. I'm like, but I had nothing to rev at. That's why I was so anxious all the time, because I had nothing to express towards, right? Because I didn't know what else existed. So what I realized is, here's what I had to do. I had to be like, okay, I want to do a business, so maybe I'll try ecom, maybe I'll try an agency, and I tried all of them. I literally tried all of them. So your breakaway phase has to be scratching every single itch that you have for what you want to do in life, okay? Now, this is going to be a little bit difficult to discern because you have the talent arc, okay? So basically, no matter what you start, you're going to suck at, you're going to suck really bad at it. And so when you start at it, you're not going to be able to discern, okay, is this not enjoyable because I suck, or is it not enjoyable because I don't fucking like it? You'll actually know the answer to this by checking into your soul, okay? It's like, do I actually want to do this? A good question you can ask yourself is, if nobody else existed on planet Earth, would I be doing this? If the answer is no, then you'll know you're doing it for other people. If the answer is yes, and you would, let's say you had all the money in the world and you'd be doing it anyway, that's probably the right answer. So you have to become good enough at the thing to actually discern, right? But a lot of the times you don't even need to do that because you'll know if you fucking like it or not, but you got to try stuff out. Because when you haven't done the breakaway or testing phase, what you think you're going to like and what you think you're going to dislike aren't actually true. Because there's going to be all these little parts about the thing that you actually won't like, or you will like, or you just won't know until you try it. For me, a good example of that was copywriting. I was like, I love to write, so I'm going to be a copywriter, right? So I'm going to get paid to write. Then what I realized is, when you're a copywriter, you're actually not writing that often, right? You're a copywriter and you're writing to get paid technically, but that's not how your business looks. Your business is a lot of finding clients, right? Searching for clients on the internet, selling the clients. Then once you close the clients, it's researching projects and going back and forth with them, figuring out what they want. And then writing is like a little tiny part of it. So I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not even writing when I'm doing this. I'm basically just grading clients and I'm on the client treadmill. But you only learn that stuff by actually doing it, right? So whatever you want to do, you have to scratch every itch. Scratch every itch. That is step one of becoming more confident, is scratch every itch. And I'm just going to leave it with the typo. Now, what you're going to realize is that just the act of scratching these itches will make you more confident, because this is step one on breaking out of society's path and going towards your path. This is the step one of self-reliant thinking. This is step one of becoming your own human. This is step one of breaking out of societal conditioning. It's realizing, hey, this is not what I want, and then you making an internal decision based on your own intuitions and saying, this is what I think I want, and then acting on it. If you can be like, hey, I'm going to listen to the whisper of my intuition and then fucking take an action off of that, congratulations, that's step one of self-reliance. You've just earned your self-trust a little bit more. You've just literally, in a real way, become a little more confident, right? And this is why this is the foundation of everything. Okay? Now, you scratch every itch. And the reason this is so important is because eventually you're going to have every itch scratched. You're going to have tried everything. And then you're basically going to be like, okay, based on everything I've tried and done, what is most likely for me to succeed and what do I like? Okay? Then once you choose that, you enter the lock-in phase. And the reason the lock-in phase is so important is because your shiny object syndrome goes away. Because you say, well, you know, I'm not worrying about this opportunity or that opportunity because I've scratched it. So now it's like, what else would I do? That's where you have to fall back on. What the fuck else would I do? I've tried everything else, right? But you can only do that if you scratch every itch. And in this process, you'll learn a lot about yourself. And then you'll also learn how to become self-reliant, because you'll learn how to solve problems. You'll learn how to think for yourself. You'll learn how to actually put desire into things. Because a lot of people, like I said, they don't have discipline problems. They have self-awareness problems, because they do things that they don't actually want to do, right? So here's clues for you being on the wrong path and why you actually don't want to do it. If you're making excuses for why you can't do something. Oh, I can't make content because it's the holidays. Oh, I guess I can't work out because the gym's closed. Right? Those are symptoms and signals that you're not doing what you want to do. If you don't know why you're doing something, oh, I got to do it this way. Why? Well, it's just how it's supposed to be. You probably, that ain't your thing. You don't have a reason behind it, right? Or you joke about it sucking to others. Oh, I'm going to go to work, huh? Gonna go to the slave trade again. You probably don't like it and you're coping, okay? And then you don't spend time becoming the best. If you're just going through the motions and existing and you don't have a natural inclination to become the best at it and to like maximize your potential in that lane, you're probably doing the wrong thing. Because this should be a very natural urge to just dominate everybody, right? To just literally become the best at whatever the fuck you're doing. It should be very natural. So if these things are creeping up, you're not doing what you're doing. So if you want to become more confident, you solve the confidence problem by fixing the direction of your life problem. And once you start moving forward in the correct direction of your life, all your confidence problems they get fixed automatically, because what happens is you shift from other people's game, which is society's game, right? Which is the reason why you're unconfident in the first place, because you're like, oh, society's game is being really attractive and being, you know, fucking a Chad and all this stuff, and I'm not that, so I'm not worthy of confidence yet, right? But you shift away to your own rules. And once you start playing your own game and you have your own rules, then you are obviously the best at your own game, because you're the one that fucking invented it. And then when you're playing your own game, obviously you're going to be the best at the game, so obviously you're going to be most confident, right? Because you set the parameters for your own life. This is what nobody understands. Everything is related. You can't just hate your life and hate everything about it and then randomly be confident, right? It's going to be a cope. So the way that you get more confident is you start living the life that you know you're supposed to fucking live, and you have to take the steps toward living that life right now. So ask yourself, what do you actually want to try to do? What life do you actually want to live? And then have the balls to actually start moving forward towards that thing. And until you do that, any confidence video you watch, any confidence tactic you try is a complete waste of time, because you're just putting band-aids on the actual symptom that you don't yet know who you are, and you're too much of a coward to actually go for the life that you fucking want. And until you solve that problem, nothing else matters.